The Modern Warfare 3 campaign has tons of references and Easter eggs to older games. We're talking COD4, Modern Warfare 2, the original Modern Warfare 3, Ghosts, Call of Duty Black Ops, and Modern Warfare 2019. So let's go over every single one. An obvious spoiler warning if you've not finished the campaign yet. Starting things off with the very first mission is the obvious Easter egg reference to the original Modern Warfare 2. The first mission is called Operation 627, in which you scale the Gulag to try and rescue prisoner 627. Now this parallels the identical same scenario in the original Modern Warfare 2, where with Soap as Task Force 141, you go into the Gulag to try and rescue prisoner 627. It is the exact same Gulag in the exact same place, but things are handled a lot more brutally in 2023. And when the OG Modern Warfare 2, prisoner 627 was Captain Price. But in the new Modern Warfare 3, that is a parallel where it's not Captain Price that you're rescuing, but it's actually Vladimir Makarov. Super cool how they flipped expectations there. Now, not only does this mission mirror the original Modern Warfare 2 Gulag breakout, but there's one quote from Makarov later in this mission that actually calls back to Black Ops 1. Now, the last time we heard Rain Fire was from Viktor Reznov in Black Ops 1's Vorkuta breakout, in which he says this. Rain Fire! Pretty cool. Now, throughout Modern Warfare 3's campaign, there are quite a few references to everyone's beloved Verdansk from Modern Warfare 2019. But what you might not realize is in the second mission, Precious Cargo, as Farah Karim, you're exploring this north port, which is in Urzikstan. However, one of the main buildings that you have to explore can be found multiple times throughout Verdansk in MW 2019. As soon as you enter this building and you're on the lower parts where you can see the garages that are shut off, you immediately get the memories of being inside these sort of buildings when you played on Verdansk many years ago. Jumping over to the campaign mission Deep Cover, you are playing as Kate Laswell, sneaking around the Arklov base from Verdansk, completely undercover, so no gun concealed, just sort of free roaming around. Some of the background details with the NPCs and the vehicles moving around felt very similar to the walk around of the very first level FNG from Call of Duty 4, wherein that you were also free roaming with no weapon, which is something you typically don't do in a Call of Duty game. Further on in that level, Kate Laswell meets up with a new character called Yuri Volkov. Now, this is an obvious reference to the character Yuri from the original Modern Warfare 3. Now, the original Yuri was a very important character in the Modern Warfare timeline, as he was not only a close friend of Vladimir Makarov and served alongside him, he then served with the Loyalists and Task Force 141. Now, it's heavily implied that this new Yuri character in Modern Warfare 3 is based off the original Yuri, as he mentions that Russia and the West face similar threats from within. It's imperative we collaborate to control them, meaning he's on both sides, but then drops this Easter egg quote.
Противник моего оппонента, мой союзник.
Now, this is an iconic Captain Price line from the original Modern Warfare 2 mission The Enemy is My Enemy.
Makarov, you ever hear the old saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend?
Yuri's delivery in Modern Warfare 3 is slightly reworded, but is essentially saying the exact same thing. Now, this is an Easter egg I did not expect to see, but in the mission Payload, near the end, you're storming through a Soviet base, and amongst the traditional flags and memorabilia, there are multiple flags with the logo of Perseus from Black Ops Cold War on it. This is not the first time we've seen the Perseus flag in the new Modern Warfare universe, but this could be our first clue that Makarov is either part of Perseus or Perseus is still active in the modern day. Jumping over to the mission Passenger, this is obviously a reference and a spiritual modern day successor to the iconic No Russian mission from Modern Warfare 2. That mission had you storming through the airport with Vladimir Makarov, terrorizing civilians, and the Passenger mission starts in the exact same way with Vladimir Makarov at the airport. Difference here, this is taking place on board an actual aircraft. Makarov texts all of the assailants on board No Russian as the signal to start their attack. Now, a really fascinating detail in the OG Modern Warfare 2 is that within the No Russian mission, you were originally supposed to play as a female civilian. And you can see this by no clipping outside of the lift to see a female without a head. And this is because you as the player would have the gameplay camera fixed on top of that body where the head would be. Now, in Modern Warfare 3's Passenger mission, that idea has been implemented because you play as a female civilian. Now, near the end of this mission, Makarov and his crew escape escape via jumping out of the airplane door. And this is a reference to the ending of the Mile High Club mission from the original Call of Duty 4. Let's now jump to the mission Flashpoint, where there are various Easter egg references to break down. The first and the most obvious is that we are revisiting the Verdansk Stadium, which we saw in Modern Warfare 2019. It has been perfectly recreated one-to-one, where you have the underground section, you have the main section with the stands. It brings back all those good memories from when the stadium was first opened. But during this mission, alongside Captain Price, you are joined by Corporal Burns with the call sign Bravo 63. And he is the exact same SAS soldier from Bravo 6 that you play as during the original Modern Warfare 3 during the mission Mind the Gap. This is such a subtle detail that I doubt most of you would have noticed. But there is another Easter egg in this mission that you definitely would have missed, and it's right at the very beginning when you drive into the stadium. As you drive past a certain ambulance on the right, which has a certain Vladimir Makarov in it. It is a real blink and you'll miss it, and it foreshadows what happens later on in the mission where Makarov tries to get away in that ambulance, which is a subtle reference to the ending of the No Russian mission in Modern Warfare 2, where Makarov escapes in an ambulance after killing countless civilians. It's a really subtle but clever callback. But this other detail within this mission might have just made every original Modern Warfare 2 player skip a heartbeat, and it's right at the very end of the mission where Ghost and Shepard are there to rescue you, but Ghost is sporting an original Modern Warfare 2 look, which is the exact look from the mission Loose Ends, in that iconic yet tragic ending where Shepard kills Ghost. And ironically, this mission ends with Ghost and Shepard there, with his hand held out from the helicopter, almost like he's about to deceive you for the second time. Thank God that didn't happen this time. Jumping a little further in the campaign now to the mission Oligarch, Laswell, Ghost, and Soap have a really comedic conversation about beaches that ends with an iconic reference to the OG Modern Warfare 2.
Here's some staff rooms. What'd you call these, Watcher?
I believe those are cabanas, 7-1.
Not much for the beach, Johnny.
Prefer the snow, LT.
Ski or snowboard, Soap?
Snowboard.
Snowboarding's for savages, Johnny.
What say you, Laswell?
Snowmobile, internal combustion case closed.
Can't argue with that.
That's right, Laswell said snowmobiles, which is an obvious reference to the level Cliffhanger from the OG Modern Warfare 2, where right at the end, you and Soap escape on snowmobiles. And clearly, Soap can't argue on choosing a snowmobile over skis or snowboards. Our next Easter egg takes us over to the mission High Rise, where only those of you that can read fluent Russian will understand this Easter egg. But littered all over this level is a ton of Russian graffiti. And in this beginning section, there is some blue graffiti on the wall here, which translates to 50,000 people used to live here, now it's a ghost town. Now, unless you've never played a Modern Warfare game before, you know this is an obvious reference to Call of Duty 4's All Gillied Up, where Captain Macmillan says this.
This place, 50,000 people used to live in the city. Now it's a ghost town. Never seen anything like it.
Now, there are so many more graffiti Easter eggs in this level that it could be a video on its own. So if you're enjoying the video so far and you'd like to see that, let me know by dropping a thumbs up. Pushing on further in the campaign, this level is obviously a reference to the original Verdansk Dam from Modern Warfare 2019, although there are some subtle changes. Before, the dam was completely frozen over, but in Modern Warfare 3, there is a flowing stream of water. It's also set at night. Moving on to the mission Trojan Horse, this is one of the most obvious references, but one of the coolest because it's actually a callback to Call of Duty Ghosts. At the start of the mission, you're following a hacker, and to blend in with the environment, you can choose to pet a dog, and only after petting it do you realize that its name is Riley, the exact same model and character name for the iconic dog Riley in Call of Duty Ghosts. It is one-to-one exactly the same, and I think this is such a cool Easter egg. Later on in the mission, we enter a service tunnel to go into the Channel Tunnel, having to avoid being hit by live trains running along rails on either side. And this is a small reference to the original Modern Warfare 3 mission Mind the Gap, where you were also storming through a train station and dealing with moving trains, but in that mission you are on rails chasing down trains on a vehicle. And the saddest part of this mission is, of course, right at the very end, we have the tragic death of Soap MacTavish, and his death in this game is a reference to his death in the original Modern Warfare 3, although this time around his death is a little bit different because one, his death was in sacrifice to save Captain Price, as if the moment lasted a little longer, Makarov would have shot Captain Price point blank, but also Soap's death was a chilling promise that Makarov made 4 years prior during the mission Flashpoint, where after capturing Makarov, he says this to Soap.
I'll be seeing you again, MacTavish. I promise.
That is all of the references I've been able to find. If you found any that I've not mentioned, please let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, drop it a thumbs up right now and subscribe down below for more Modern Warfare 3.